when anglers from the Forest Wood Cup come to Pittsburgh, some of them are going to find some urban habitats that they may not be as used to fishing. I'm John Hayes, outdoors editor with the Post-Gazette. I'm here in the Monongahela River this morning with Ron Taylor from Pennsylvania Southwest Bassmen. Ron, we're at a wall face here on the Monongahela. How should they fish a situation like this?
The fishing conditions are usually dominated by the current, and there's usually a good current flowing around a concrete wall like this. There's usually algae and that attract bait fish to the walls, and the game fish, including the bass, will be chasing the bait fish and crayfish and other food like that.
In drop-offs like this, are the bass suspended, or they're near the top, or they're near the bottom?
Well, it can be all of those. Usually in conditions in which the light is on the water, they'll be deeper, and the fishermen will be throwing a bait which will sink deeper into the water. In low light conditions, or especially early in the morning, the fish can be suspended quite high and even up at the surface, and so a surface lure might be more effective then.
All up and down these rivers, you find barges tied up along the sides. Ron, how do you fish these barges?
Well, the stationary barges are good for several different reasons. One is that they give a little extra shade, and they also break the current a little bit and give the fish a good place to hide, to ambush some bait fish. And also, a lot of times it will accumulate some debris on the upcurrent side of it, and the debris can attract bait fish, and the game fish will go after the bait fish. So usually I look for the shady part under the end of the barge, and I cast to that, and if there's some debris in the water, some sticks or floating logs, floating branches, I try to flip a lure that will sink right down under those branches and get to where the bass are probably hiding.
During the Bassmaster Classic in 2005, they did real well on bridge pilings, underneath the piers, underneath the bridges. Ron, how do you fish these pilings?
Well, the best way to do it is to try pretty much all around the bridge. The beginning of the piling can be very good because it's a little current break. It separates the current that flows around both sides of the piling, and a lot of times the fish will be either at the front or the back of the bridge piling. The pilings themselves are very good for several reasons. One is that it does break up the current. Also, there's usually a patch of shade on either one side or the other side of the piling. There's algae that grows on the side of the pier that accumulates bait fish, and the bait fish, of course, attract the game fish. Also, there's frequently a lot of concrete or construction debris around the base of the pilings, so that gives another part of the habitat for the bass to look for their food. So I usually try a sinking bait, a soft plastic bait that sinks. If I find that the fish are deeper, I'll try a heavier, fast-falling bait. If I find some fish that are suspended up closer to the surface, I'll try a soft plastic bait that sinks only slowly and stays in the upper water layer.
So ultimately, the anglers who do the best in the Forest Wood Cup are going to be those who adapt to the urban environment around Pittsburgh. I'm John Hayes with the Post-Gazette.